Welcome to Cantus, the podcast by Aurelio Porfiri, dedicated to the beauty of liturgy and sacred music. Join us as we explore the rich traditions, profound meanings, and heavenly harmonies that elevate the spirit and deepen our connection to the divine.
Welcome to our podcast of Cantus. I am Aurelio Porfiri. Today we speak about a topic that I'm sure will interest many of you that are listening. And of course, if you want to comment on this topic, you will be welcome. And I will make in a way that our guest that now I will introduce can also maybe see your comments, and if he likes, of course, he can reply to your doubts or questions or whatever. So please listen until the end, and if you have not done it, subscribe to our newsletter cantus.substack.com, and I want to introduce our guest for today, that is Father Roberto Spataro. Father Spataro is a Salesian father. He is associated to the Pontifical Academy Latinitatis, and also is a member of the Academy Latinitati Fovendae. He's a teacher and a scholar of Latin, and he has published many books that I think most of them or all of them are in Italian. So unfortunately for those that don't read Italian, is not easy to read. But I want to remind you one book published by the Salesian publishing house that is Latino, una lingua immortale, Latin and Immortal Language. And this book was published on the 60th anniversary of the Constitution Veterum Sapientia by John the 23. So thank you, Father Spataro, for your participation.
Thank you, Professor Porfiri. I appreciate very much the initiative that you have undertaken to spread culture and to spread the sense of true liturgy. Among the books that I had the privilege to write, there is also one which has been translated into English by Ignatius Pars, and the title, as far as I remember in English, is Praise of the Tridentine Mass, and Avant-propos has been written by Cardinal Berg. So for our English-speaking friends, I believe that this is a reason to appreciate Cardinal Berg more and more.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know this, and it's good that you mentioned about this topic. Now, I want to introduce with you the question of the Latin Mass or traditional Mass. You know, these days there are a lot of rumor about further restriction on the Latin Mass. Of course, you also heard all this gossip, if we may call it like this. And we don't know if this restriction will come sooner or later. But what you make of this? What you think about this kind of it seems like a persecution of the traditional Mass.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So there are different reasons that can explain this sort of persecution against the the Latin Tridentine Mass. The first reason, in my humble opinion, is that those who are against the Latin traditional Mass are at all against the Church's tradition. They are confined, restricted in the present moment. They despise the tradition. For them, it's nonsense. Therefore, whatever is connected with the tradition has to be put aside. Since Latin traditional Mass, on the contrary, is so appreciated by a growing number of faithful and young priests, they operate, they act with this strength that is, I mean, that is out of reason. It's just matter of passion, of hate, not of reason. But when this is one of the reasons. The second one is connected with the age of those who are against the Latin Mass. They are aged. They are more or less old people. So they were younger when the liturgical reformation was introduced in the Catholic Church. And they spent all their energies, all their hopes for the so-called liturgical renewal. Therefore, in presence of a revival of the Latin traditional Mass, they feel that they have spent their life for a bad purpose.
They fail.
For a failure. And therefore, there is this emotional reaction. They feel that they have no more time to put aside the Latin traditional Mass. Two reasons. Then I would like to add that according to my sources, because every one of us has his own sources about these rumors, according to my sources, actually the document will be published even in a short time. And in my opinion, we don't have to fear even the issue of this document because the Latin traditional Mass is something divine to such an extent that is able to overcome every obstacle. I have recently come back from an European country where the Communist Party ruled for more than 50 years. They tried to get over the Catholic Church, but they failed. They were not able. Faith still remained alive. And when communism collapsed, the inner Christian life of people was stronger than than before. The water of a river runs, and the stones can modificate
The flow.
direction, yes, the flow, the direction of the water, but they can not stop it.
Father, sorry, because before you freeze a little, so I was not able to understand well something you say. Maybe our listener were more lucky, so I want you to clarify. You said before that according to your sources, the
Yes,
document will
see.
be published shortly.
Yes, this is
Ah,
what I have been told.
ah, okay. So this document may be published, as some people say, in maybe the anniversary of Traditionis Custodes on
Uh,
July
this
16th.
has not been mentioned by the person with whom I had this talk, but she's very involved because well, so it's better that I don't go on,
She
otherwise
knows.
her
She knows.
identity can be
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
known.
She
Yes,
knows.
yes, but she knows. She knows. She does
Ah,
know.
okay, okay. Um, uh, in these days, we have heard about a news that a prelate, I don't know indeed if it was an Italian prelate. Did you know if it was
I did
Italian?
I did know also because Cardinal Mueller, who reported this piece of news, did not give any
Specify.
other
Yeah.
specification.
So in any case, this prelate, a prelate, I assume is like a bishop or a cardinal, I think. He has said that he would prefer no mass than the traditional mass. And of course, it's a kind of a shocking affirmation. So, you that have devoted so much of your time also to the study of the Latin language, what sense you make of this kind of shocking statement?
Yes. Uh, First of all, I would like to say that this is against canon law, because according to canon law, the Catholic faithful, when they are in the situation in which they cannot attend Catholic Mass, they are allowed even to attend Orthodox Divine Liturgy. Anyway, I am not surprised by this kind of assessment of affirmation. Why? Because people who are against Latin Mass, they are against against the tradition at all. Whatever is connected with tradition, for them, it should be discarded, put aside, despised. And second reason, and this is more serious, is that they lack of faith. I cannot help forgetting what I was told by a theologian who attended one of the recent synods. He told me, Roberto, I have attended quite a number of synods, and always I quote the difference between bishops, those who were more inclined to tradition, those who are more inclined to liberal view. But nowadays, the distinction, the dramatic distinction, is among bishops who keep their faith and bishops who have lost their faith or live as if faith was pointless. This is the point, the lack of faith. And if there is lack of faith, we should not be surprised by the affirmation that Cardinal Mueller reported, unfortunately.
But you know that in these days, I have two things I want to ask you. I'll start with this. Today, when we are recording this podcast, we have saw this letter on the Times about the some intellectual that asked for the defense of the traditional mass in Latin. But on the other side, there is something that uh, I was really struck by this. In the document, I think it was in Traditionis Custodes, it was said basically that the traditional mass was allowed to certain people until they will not be educated to appreciate the Novus Ordo Mass, New Mass. So basically, what was implied is that these people go to the traditional Mass because they are ignorant of the new Mass. But what I don't understand is they have more than 60 years to educate people. Why they didn't? Because in any case, all of us, indeed, I think the problem is quite the opposite. I mean, is because these people cannot stand anymore what we witness in many of our churches, where the masses the place for the performance of a certain priest or certain people that want to have some fun with the guitar or even with other instruments. So why they have this kind of patronizing attitude, like to say, oh yes, we give you because you don't know what you are doing. Basically, that's the implication. So you are a priest. What do you think about this?
Oh, thank you. You have touched different topics. I will be trying to comment on these considerations, very significant. First of all, in Traditionis Custodes, actually, me too, I was shocked by the expression, okay, we grant you the Latin traditional mass, provided that you start a re-education.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is perfectly what the Communist Party in different areas of the world stated about Christian faith. Okay,
Mhm.
we grant you, we admit you that you may have some expressions of faith until you will be re-educated to the communist ideology.
Fully recovered. You are
Yes.
fully recovered.
Yes, actually. Then the second point, these bishops, these people of the Holy See, who have started this fight against Latin traditional uh, mass, they are very distant from young priests and from the faith of the flock, because among young priests, quite a number of them, there is an interest, even love for Latin Mass. So they cannot explain according to their ideology, and so they despise this priest as mad people, nostalgic people, and also the faithful. Among no one of them has ever asked Christian faithful, even at the times of the introduction of liturgical reformation, has asked people's Christian faithful's opinion. So they are so distant from young priests and from the faithful, and they are limited today ideology. Then, going back to the first affirmations we have commented on, you have been re-educated and so on. But Pope Benedict XVI, may be blessed ever and ever. He said in Summorum Pontificum, more or less, the more you know the Latin traditional Mass, the more you will better celebrate the Novus Ordo. The more you celebrate according to the Novus Ordo, the more you will appreciate the Latin traditional Mass. It's not matter of re-education. It's matter of integration, of complementarity, of harmony. So I don't remember if I have commented on whatever you said, Professor Porfiri. More or less,
Yes. I have one question that is a little provocative, but I'm sure you will understand it in the right way. You are a priest in good standing, so I want to address to you as a priest, even if you are, of course, innocent of this, but because you are part of the body of priest. So I want to ask you about what happened to you, priest, in these decades, because what I think many people like me and many of the people that are listening, I'm sure, will share my question. They think that there was a sort of craziness that take the majority of the priests, and most of them are now becoming the biggest obstacle to returning to our senses. If I want to, as you said before, they defend what they have spent all their life building. That even if this is tumbling down like the wall of Jericho, no, but what happened, is of course we can say many things, but I think when I am in front of some priest, of course not you, but some other priest, I say, but this is really a priest. But it's possible that this person really studied, and is like, if you think a priest of this kind, and like a priest of some years ago, what happened? Sometimes I really stop to think, because it's very painful to think something about it like this. So can you give me an answer representing the category of priest?
Willingly, according to my limited knowledge. But I would like to say, Maestro Porfiri, that we have to distinguish the aged priest from the younger ones. Among the older priests, there is this psychological resistance to Latin and to tradition because they have believed in the so-called renewal, and so they cannot accept psychologically that they failed. The younger ones, they have attended seminaries in which, in my opinion, they received no good formation because their professors, their educators were educated at their own in the faculties of Roman or Pontifical universities. And it is sad, but I think that it should be told. So the majority of the pontifical universities are a din of heresies, of errors, and so they handed over, and they are handing over the younger generations bad theology. Secondly, as Pope Benedict XVI reminded us in one of his writings after his retirement, he said that in the seminaries, unfortunately, spiritual life is not at the very focus of seminary formation. In some of seminaries, also the sexual abuses were a very common practice, to such an extent that deliberately some entered the seminaries with this purpose, and they met with formators who were waiting for them. But the good priest, the good young priest, first of all, they feel that what they got in seminaries was not good, and they are trying something else, and they go toward tradition. So some phenomena that are happening, but we cannot forget, allow me, Maestro, to say that against priests, before, today, and in the future, there is the devil who fights against them, because the devil knows very well that if there are good priests, there are also good Christians. If there are bad priests, there are bad faithful. So the target of devil's action are priests and families. What is? That's what happening to today, no, in my humble opinion. Yes, but
Thank you.
I am hopeful, Maestro. I am hopeful.
Yes.
Because there is a lot of holy souls inside the church that humbly, secretly, they keep praying, they keep doing penance for the renewal of the church. Therefore, the fruit of this universal holiness in souls will bring many good fruits. Sorry.
Thank you, Father. And to conclude this very interesting conversation, I want to tell our listener that Father Spataro, of course, many of you will think, oh, but this is Father Spataro, the one that is very close to Pope Francis. No, that are two different Father Spataro. That Father Spataro is Father Antonio Spataro, and is a Jesuit. The one I am talking is Father Roberto Spataro, and is a Salesian. So they have in common the last name, but they have other things that are really distinguish them. So I want to know that our Father Spataro is also a very important and famous Latinist, and is a formator of people that want to know more about Latin, and I want you, Father, to explain to our international audience if they want to study Latin with you, what they can do.
Yeah, yes, yes. I have been blessed by God because I have had the opportunity for many years to teach Latin and Greek to young priests coming from all over the world. And today, also by availing of the web, from time to time, I give some lessons about ecclesiastical Latin, liturgical Latin, curial Latin, church fathers Latin, and so on. Usually, I give these classes under the umbrella of other institutions, Italian institutions. So when I have this opportunity, I inform Facebook's friends on my Facebook page. Allow me, Maestro. So the family name of the Jesuit father, who is or who was very close to Pope Francis, is Spadaro. There is a
Ah,
little difference. And
ah,
once a person met with Cardinal Burke, and he mentioned my poorness, and he said, Father Roberto Spataro, like the Father Jesuit. And Cardinal Burke stood up and said, no, my friend, he is Spataro. There is just one letter different in the family name, but the difference of ideas is very huge among them.
sorry. Yes. Yeah. I thought that was that is my bad memory. I thought it was the same, and I did. Yes, there is a difference.
Yes,
So I withdraw. But it's very similar. So in any
yes,
case,
yes.
the people may
Also true.
confuse. Of course. Or I want also to say that, of course, if Father Spataro will make me know about his courses, I will announce in our newsletter so that the people can join Father Spataro courses. So thank
Yes,
you, Father Roberto, for your participation. And of course, for our listener, if you want to comment, be free, and we will be very happy to read your comments. So
thank you.
maybe if you just want to say to conclude a few words in Latin to say hello to our listeners, I think that would
Yes.
be really a nice thing.
Libentissime omnes auditores saluto et hominor queque bona eis eorumque propinquis amicisque et imo excorde vehementissime adortor omnes amicos audientes presertim in Anglia et in civitatibus federatis ut semper diligant linguam latina quest lingua humanitatis quest lingua pietatis. Gratias Bobisago, gratias Magistro Preclaro.
Thank you very much. The Father has wished all of you, especially people from certain countries like United States, every good thing, and also has wished that you can appreciate more and more the Latin language. So this is a synthesis, I think, of what the Father has said. So thank you very much again, and hope you will be again with us and listening to our next podcast. Thank you, and bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you for listening to Cantus. If you enjoyed our exploration of liturgy and sacred music, be sure to subscribe to our newsletter at cantus.substack.com for exclusive content and updates. Don't forget to join our Telegram channel by Aurelio Porfiri for more insights and discussions. You can find Aurelio's books on www.amazon.com and at your local bookshops. Stay connected, stay inspired, and continue to celebrate the divine harmonies that enrich our lives. See you in the next episode.